Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, my name is Raven, and today we're gonna trigger some more people. There's gonna be, I should call this video the triggering, okay? Because we're gonna piss some more people off, and hey, nothing like pissing people off who get angry over stupid shit. So, there are gonna be two types of people in this video. There's gonna be the ones who love what I'm saying. They're gonna be like, yes, he's telling it like it is. This guy's a fucking legend. Keep going. Spread the good word, okay? There's gonna be the people who fucking hate me, and they're gonna be like, wait, what? What? He's criticizing WoW. Burn him, put him to the stake, set him on fire, fuck this guy and his kids, the whole thing. I don't have kids, but fuck them even if I had some. And then you have the people in the middle who will listen to both sides. They'll go, he has some good opinions, he has some bad opinions, he has some stuff I agree with, some I don't. But I'm willing to hear him out, we can have a conversation and we can move on from there. Those are the people I love the most because they're the ones you can actually have a full-on conversation with. You can disagree, you can agree, and then at the end you come to some sort of middle ground and you walk away both happy. What topic are we talking about that's going to be triggering everyone today? It's going to be RNG in Legion. So, we're going to look at two systems, the vanilla system, and we're going to look at the Legion system of how RNG is done. And then at the end, I'm going to give you my opinion on what I think about these systems, which one I prefer, okay? Keep in mind that yes, this is an MMORPG. Now, regardless of what people say, whether it's in vanilla or whether it's now, there's always been RNG and there always will be RNG. That's just how the game is, okay? You have Jimmy the Boar. You don't rock up, cut his fucking head off, and then he drops 2 pairs of tusks. He drops fucking 4 eyeballs because he's a freak and, you know, 1 pair of shitty old shoes, okay? It's not guaranteed. He could drop anything on his loot table, and that's how this game works. It's always been like that. Keep that in mind. So we're going to start with vanilla WoW. The way it used to work was you'd walk into Molten Core and every boss would have a set loot table, 2 or 3 pieces of gear would drop, and then everyone would go for it. You weren't fighting 40 other people for the same piece of fucking gear. Sick and tired of people saying that. You're fighting for gear. No, you weren't. I was a hunter. I was fighting 2 or 3 people, my brother and 2 other guys, for gear. That's it. But the gear I was fighting for was the best gear you could possibly get at the time. Giant Stalker's gloves we're going to use for this example. If Giant Stalker's gloves dropped, okay, it had a set stat, set number of stats on it. Giant Stalkers would drop, and it wasn't just a free-for-all fucking knife fight for it. No, there was this thing called Dragon Kill Points, DKP. You get DKP for having fire resist on your gear. You'd have it for showing up to the raid early, for having flasks and everything, consumables like food and stuff. Every hour you're in the raid, for killing bosses. A whole bunch of shit gave you DKP. You bank that shit. When a piece of gear you want to drop, right, you'd put a bid in to the officer for that piece of gear. And then everyone would put their bids in. Whoever bidded the highest would win the piece of gear. So if I had 400 DKP and I threw 400 in for Giant Stalker's gloves, I outbid the rest of the guys. Yes, I got the gear, but guess what? I have no more DKP. I have to build that back up again, which means that if the next boss we kill and the best bow for a hunter drops, I don't get that. I have no chance, because then my brother and the other 2, they have more DKP than me. They can outbid me for it. It was fair. If you wanted multiple pieces of gear, then you would have to be sparing with your DKP. It wasn't just big dick player, throw your fucking dollar bills all around the place. No, it doesn't work that way. You had to wait, you had to hold on to your shit, and then you have to say, instead of 400, I'm gonna bid, fuck, I really want these gloves, I'll bid 250 and hope no one else bids higher. It was fair, and you knew exactly what you were getting. Every boss, you knew when I went to that raid, I needed Giant Stalker's set, because every piece was the most optimal piece of gear I could get. I needed a bow, and I needed a pair of fucking swords or daggers or something, maybe Corehound's Tooth and stuff, because hunters could use everything, because everything's hunter's loot. But I knew what I was getting, and there was no RNG past, is it going to drop off the boss? That was the only RNG there was. There wasn't Titan Forge, there wasn't Warforge, there wasn't random stats on the pieces of gear, there was none of that crap. It was just pure Giant Stalkers is going to drop at some point. When it drops, I need the DKP to get it. Once I get it, I'm set like a motherfucker, and it's rewarding as fuck. Instant reward, okay? I've killed the boss, it's dropped, I've outbid everyone else, I've got the reward, I am boss as fuck now because I have that piece of gear. There is no ifs or buts about it. That's how it worked. It was nice, clean, and consistent, but still had that, it felt good when you got a piece of gear. The RNG, what Blizzard's trying to do now, you got that. It's like, fuck yes, I got this piece of gear, I've worked hard, I've got my DKP for it. This is amazing, okay? You don't get that anymore. Even the Wrath of the Lich King system was just the same. You would save up, get your token, you would get the token, fuck yes. You'd go to the vendor, you'd hand the token in, and you'd get the best gloves you could possibly get at the time. No ifs or buts. It was instant reward for your hard work, and you knew exactly exactly what you were getting. When you get something, you want to know exactly what's going to be and how good it's going to be. You don't want to sit there and go, I've got something, let's have a look-see and see if it's going to be better or not. Okay, now we're going to move on to the Legion system. And unfortunately, that's how the Legion system works. Giant Stalker's gloves, let's say, for example, they drop. I then have to see whether they Warforge or Titanforge better than what I already have, because out in the world, everything is RNG based and Warforge and Titan based as well. I could say I open up a cache and I get 875 gloves. Giant Stalkers drop. They have a base item level of 850. They only Titanforge up to 855. They're far worse, yeah? Unless the items that randomly proc on the Giant Stalkers are both Mastery and Crit, which say are my best stats. And the ones I got out in the world, the 875 ones, those ones are Haste and Versatility. Giant Stalker ones will give me more damage overall, but they have less item level on them because of the way the RNG is. Everything is like that. That's just the way the system works. It's all RNG based in Legion. So whenever a piece of gear drops, instead of just the RNG of, oh, is it gonna drop? It's cool, now it's dropped. Now I have to fight these people for it. Fight in quotation marks. Now it's the same thing, except is the gear gonna drop in Legion? Yes, it's dropped. Now I have to fight these people for it, but first, did a Titanforge higher than what I already have? And does it have the right stats on it? And if all those boxes tick itself, then guess what? The same thing people bitch about, oh, you have to fight people for loot back in the day. Guess what? You have to fight them for loot now. The only difference is you have to wait an extra, you have to do another 2 steps of RNG just to see if it's worth fighting for. That's the reality of it. I know people don't like hearing that, but that is the reality of the system when you break it down to exactly what it is. The old system was the piece of gear would drop. It's the best piece of gear you can get. Do you have the dragon kill points or the roll off for it? If you get it, you're king. If you don't get it, next time. The system now, the reality of it is the same piece of gear will drop. You then have to basically spin the fucking casino slot machine. Okay, ding, 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 extra iron level, that's worth it. Cool. Roll it again. Ding, ding, ding. It's got the right stats on it. Awesome. And then you have to fight the same people for it and hope you get it. You don't, guess what? You have to go again. But this time, if you do those 2 extra slot machine pulls and you don't get the right iron level, the right stats, it's useless to you. So you have to go again. And that is exactly the problem with it. Now, I've already given my opinion a little bit through this because it's really hard not to with this system. But it's all going to come down to you. If you like grinding for the same thing over and over and over and over again till you get the perfect roll and everything's out of your hands, you have no control whatsoever, you will love Legion. If you hate that, guess what? That's probably why so many people have already quit the game. And they have. People have quit the game because they're sick and tired of all the RNG in Legion. It's not satisfying. It's not invigorating. It doesn't give anyone any sense of accomplishment. It all comes down to your personality. If you like grinding, you're going to love Legion and the RNG system in it. If you don't like grinding, you're not. I play Legion. I don't mind it, but I don't like it as much as I used to because of that fact. Don't take it out of context. There are so many factors on why this whole, like I covered it in my legacy video, okay, on why people are on either side of the spectrum. I'm sort of sitting in the middle. I can see both. But me personally, I hate the RNG system in Legion is the worst it's ever, like it's the worst thing they've ever put into WoW. It's terrible. It's worse than LFR because it affects every single thing. World of Warcraft has always been about one thing and one thing only. Getting loot, making your character better, and making friends along the way. That's it. And what Blizzard have done, they've done it so the one thing that you need to do and that everyone's trying to do, get better loot and get better, they've just completely just turned into one giant slot machine, which they've done it for a good reason. I know exactly why they've done it, and that is because they're a business and they like making money. Because the longer you sit there playing that slot machine, which is just loot in just Legion in general now, between the time gating and the RNG, every single thing has it. The time you spend playing that RNG casino slot machine that is Legion right now, every month that ticks by, Blizzard gets money. And they have millions of people playing, which means every single person is paying $15 to $20 depending on where you live per month. They're raking in billions and billions of dollars, and they put in jack all effort. They have a lot of systems, I've said this before, a lot of systems that are ocean wide but an inch deep. They have the beginning of what could be an amazing fleshed out system, but instead of fleshing it out, they just code it with RNG and time gating, so that way it just takes forever. Not because it's hard, because WoW has not been hard for a very long time. Not because it's hard, simply because you have to go through, like I said, all those extra steps of rolling dice in the hopes that you get something good. And by going through all those extra steps and keep going, Blizzard's getting money, 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 money. And that's all they care about nowadays, which kind of sucks. Because Blizzard used to be the one company I always used to say, always, EA, pile of shit. Ubisoft, pile of shit. Fucking Bethesda, pile of shit. They all care about money, but Blizzard cares about the players. They are for quality and they're for the players. Can't say that anymore. I can say they're for quality. They do have quality shit. But after Activision ate them up, they've just been about making money, and that's a sad thing about it. In my personal like I said, my opinion. I already know there are so many people who are triggered in the comments down below, raging, yelling at my kids that don't exist. But hey, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and once again, I would love to hear your opinion. But that's the end of my ramble, guys. So leave a comment down below, please. I would love to hear whether you agree with my opinion, whether you don't. And yes, I already know the dislike ratio is going to be fucking high as shit. There are lots of people going to be disliking this right now. But hey, leave a like to help balance that shit out if you do agree with me. And hey, I'm here to have a conversation, okay? We'll have a conversation with anyone. As long as it's a conversation. You want to have an argument? I'll argue with you for a little bit, but we're not going to get anywhere. But if you want to have a talk about the whole thing, leave a comment down below. Let me know. Leave a like. Help me out. And if you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. And I shall see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys.
If I bleed tonight